What is up, you guys? So this is round two of this video. So yeah, let me sit back a little bit. I kind of want you guys to see my shirt. I don't like when you guys can't see my shirt. I don't know why. Okay, so here we are. Better. My hair is a mess. I just did my makeup in like 5 minutes, so because I had already recorded this and everything, and it was like a 40 something 2 minutes, and I uploaded it, and it was like storage is full, and I think I'm gonna have to just buy a new laptop and then just like dedicate it to just editing and other stuff, and then I'll just use this as a business because it's getting a little overwhelming. So as you can tell by the title and everything, thumbnail and everything. Hold on, let me open the door for Max. You see the light? Can you say hi to people? See, I don't like being on camera. I'm just a really annoyed baby. Okay, so I'm gonna make this into a two-part. My idea is to the first part is going to be like kind of just giving you like ideas of what this exhibit is all about, and then I'll go like the round two, which would be like me kind of giving you my point of view of what I thought of the museum, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so there is another note that I need to add on here that I did ended up finding out after I filmed this, so I'm gonna add it. Okay, so this exhibit is an interesting one, okay? I guess I can tell you guys something about me, which is that I really enjoy museums and exhibits, and I'm always going to whatever is around here in Atlanta. I'm really grateful that I live in Atlanta, where I have a lot of options to pick from. So, this exhibit, the serial killer exhibit, had been popping up on my social media, Facebook, Instagram, like everywhere I was using Facebook or Instagram, which is the only like media that I have other than like YouTube and all that stuff. I don't have TikTok, I don't have Snapchat, I don't have Twitter or whatever it's called now. I think for me to keep my fucking peace, I can just have those two like social media accounts, okay? So this experience is crazy. I'm just gonna say it out there, okay? So let me give you guys just like what it says on the website for them. So it says the serial killer, the expedition world. That's what it's called. But then there's another name where it says the original serial killer, the original, I think, expedition or something like that. So it has two names, but the main thing is serial killer expedition, okay? This expedition into this experience into the dark physiology. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but pretty much I think a lot of people think that they're going into just like the basic information that we already know about the big serial killers, but it kind of dives into not just like their crimes and their case, but how they were mentally when all this like their whole life, and then like also like the time of their crime. So it kind of works into their mindset of what they were doing when they were younger, when they were growing up. So it's not just like you walking in, it's like true crime and you become an investigator and stuff like that. No, it kind of like, it also dedicates time to just how this serial killer was, like how they were thinking as they were growing up, as they went to school, their co-workers, their classmates, their family members, and then obviously like people that were sharing a cell with them. Not everybody, but it does kind of dive into that. So it's really dark. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is a very dark museum exhibit, whatever you want to fucking call it. Okay, so it explains a lot of shit. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm all over the place because this museum was all over the place. Okay, so after it being very successful, the museum, the exhibit museum, same shit, in Europe, so they did a whole Europe tour. They decided to bring it to the United States, and Atlanta is the first state to have this museum. And I think that is fucking cool. I did not know that. Okay. You're going to dive it into a very chilling, just, I don't know how to describe it. You're going to walk into just very chilling cases. Obviously the ones that we already know and everyone's talked about, but obviously the ones that are like not very spoken about, but they're all just like very chilling cases, and everything is like so not fucking similar, which is so wild to me. So not only are you gonna like know about their case and know about the victims, know about the criminals, like you're gonna walk into just like everything and anything that you can think of their case, big or small. Okay. You're going to see authentic evidence. Not everything that's in this exhibit is authentic, but the majority of the thing is authentic, meaning OG stuff, like warrants, letters that they received or they wrote, or like just so many things, books that they read. I mean, everything you can think of, it is in this museum. Okay, so not only are you gonna get authentic evidence, but you're also going to get like replicas of like crime scenes. Okay, so this is the part where I'm saying like this exhibit is not for everyone. It's for people who can handle these type of things. And one thing is seeing it on TV, and one thing is hearing it like through a podcast, or you know, reading it through a book and like getting the details of a crime scene. But you're walking into visual crime scene, so you're gonna see things that are replica, whether that be, you know, a room, a kitchen, mattresses, refrigerators, or even objects that they use to commit their crimes. So if you're not a person who can handle these things, I would not recommend you to go. I do not recommend a person who is pregnant to go. I do not recommend a person who has kids to go, because it's graphic. Okay, some you can handle, but some are really graphic, and I don't want to say they scarred me, but it just like as I was walking, I was just like, I don't see kids being here, even though the time I went, there was kids. Okay, so they have over 2,100 original objects. Okay, from cases, sunglasses, documents, books, objects that they used. So like, you know, a lot of things. You're going to read about the serial killers and their just mindset, you know, what they were doing in their lifestyle, which I think is just wild to like hear. Sorry, Max is scratching my little chair. Okay, so some of the collections are things that were personal objects to them, whether it was like, how do I explain? Whether it was like a object they used to commit their crimes, or it was like clothes that they were, when they were arrested, they just, you know, just so happened to get the OG shirt, or just objects they had in their home and their car, whatever, you know, just like some cases have more objects and some cases have none. So, you know, it's like some rooms are amazing, some rooms are just, you know, to the point. This is what happened and this is all you're get, like just the file of that person. Okay, so there is glasses, there are typewriters, there are letters. Like I remember I saw a lot of like Christmas letters that I guess they would receive or write, whatever, you know. There were t-shirts that they used either when they were arrested or t-shirts that they used while they were in jail, and just, you know, books. I did see a lot of people that read their, like, the books that they read, they either like signed it or something, so like they have those things like that. But yeah, and etc. Like they just have random stuff. I thought that was really cool to like add to this exhibit. The tour on the website or where you buy your tickets, I believe I got my tickets from Fever. It says that the tour is about an hour and 20 minutes. I disagree so hard because I got my ticket for 5:30. We didn't walk in until like 6, I want to say, and I was there. So let's say my tour started at my, you know, the exhibit started for me at 6. I didn't get out of there till close to 9, and that is that I skipped a lot of things. Now our host, who is not our tour guide, because you don't get a tour guide. I wish you did, because then I feel like it would be a lot more easier for it to be kind of moving, because I will explain why. But our host, or I don't know what you want to call her because she's not a tour guide, says that it's approximately 2 hours. I think if you take your time to read and to look at all the objects and to kind of like soak in every room, because there's so many rooms. She did tell us how many rooms. I completely forgot, but there's a lot of fucking rooms. And I think that this exhibit is about 4 to 5 hours, just because you have to read a lot. There's a lot of reading. There's a lot of seeing and you learning about like this objects here because of this, because they do have, I will explain like how they have different rooms in a little bit. Actually, I may do that in the second part. Yeah, so I don't know why they say it's an hour. I guess like if you're trying to just run through, it's an hour and 20 minutes. But if you're really trying to take your time and read everything and like look at all the objects, it's about 4 hours, 5 maybe. So just know that when you go, be hydrated and eat. Okay, because you can't bring any of that stuff inside. So yeah. Where is it located? Here in Atlanta. It is located in Pullman Yards. It's in Atlanta / Decatur. I did not know. I thought it was like downtown, but I live really close to Decatur, so it wasn't too bad. There was just a little bit of traffic, but it wasn't too bad. So if you're interested in knowing, that's where it is. Tickets are $40 for kids and $45 for adults. Like I said, I do not recommend kids to come to this exhibit. One, they're gonna get bored because it involves a whole bunch of reading. I mean, I'm talking about in a room, you could have either one case, like I'll give you an example. One room is dedicated to Ted Bundy, and all you read on the walls is Ted Bundy's shit. But in other walls, you have individual cases where it's like one person. And in a room, you could either have one person like Ted Bundy had, or you can have a room that it has like literally like 6, 7 people you know, serial killers. So yeah. So it involves a lot of reading. Yeah, I will explain like how they have their display so you can kind of understand, because I kind of want to make this short, just like what I found out on the website, and then also what the host told us. Okay, so the exhibit, it will be here from February. I do not know when they started in February, but it's been here since February. The last day is April 5th. So if you're planning to go, you have until April 5th to go. So I would say that you should secure your ticket pretty soon, because I originally wanted to go on a Friday, and when I got it, like when I got my ticket, which was like Monday or Tuesday of that week, Friday was sold out. So I had to then go for Saturday, which is fine, but I felt like it was just too overly crowded. So if you are not a person who likes to have too many people, you know, I would say go during the week. But if you're okay with people and all that shit, you know, Saturday and Sunday are fine. Okay, I believe, so I did see that they do have different time changes for different days. So like some days they're open from 10 to 6. In some places and sometimes, some days, sorry, they're open from 11 to 7. So yeah, you're just gonna have to like see when you buy your ticket, like what time they're open and closed, because I think just like different events or days or whatever, they have different timing. Okay, so I did not know this, but now I do. They have over 140 cases, meaning 140 serial killers, which is wild to me. Wild. Okay, so do I recommend this exhibit? I am going to go into details of like what I remembered and everything. I'm trying to do this as fresh as I can, but I don't want to make this video to only 20 minutes. So for the first part, the second part, we're going to go into like what I remembered and what I saw, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I do recommend it for the people that really enjoy true crime, not because it's popular. Okay, I know true crime right now is very popular and everyone's watching, seeing, hearing cases, which is amazing, because a lot of people are then learning about cases and then they're like, you know, passing it down to another family member or friend, whatever, and cases are being talked about more, which is great, because, you know, there's a whole bunch of cases that are just mysterious, you know, there's no person to point at, which I think is wild. But if you're a person who is into true crime because it's a popular thing, do not go. If you are very sensitive to, you know, just seeing graphic stuff, don't go. If you have kids, do not go with the kids. You can go with your partner, you can go by yourself, but do not take your kids. And the reason why I'm gonna say this, there was a few kids in my group, okay? So I will explain all that stuff, like how everything is in the second video, but the kids that I saw, which was not a lot, they kind of just skipped through a lot of the things and they were just watching, like they just wanted to see the objects and stuff. And so I felt like you're wasting your $40. So I would say just, you know, go with your partner, go with a friend, go with your, I don't know, whoever's really into true crime just like you are. Go into a mindset where you are going to step into the world of these people, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be pretty heavy. The amount of people that I also saw and heard that were being completely disrespectful to victims was horrible. Okay, I don't know what it is, but some people were laughing of how people were murdered. Some people were laughing of how it occurred, and they were saying, oh, this person's so stupid because they felt for, and I'm like, you weren't there. Okay, some of these cases are old, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. They didn't have our mindset that we have now. They didn't have the technology that we have now. So every time I read a crime scene or whatever, I thought about the victims. I felt so horrible that these victims had to go through something so terrible. And the fact that some people did not take it seriously hurt me in a way that I realized that there's some people that just really like true crime because it's a popular thing. I'm not one of those people. I will tell you that before it became a popular thing, I was watching Snap on Oxygen when Oxygen was a channel. I was watching true crime documents. I was watching ghost hunter shit. I've always been into that stuff. I've always been into spooky, crazy stuff. And yeah, to the point where my mom has told me, you should become an investigator since you're like really into that, and you like, you know, I could be watching a scene or whatever and be like, oh, this person did it. But I think the reason why I always know it's because I've watched and heard and read so much true crime that I just know, like everyone says, it's always the boyfriend, it's always the husband, it's always the wife, it's always someone near them, or it's someone just random as fuck. So this is not an exhibit for everybody, okay? If you don't want to read for hours, not for you. If you don't want to be walking or standing to take the time to read, this is not for you. If you are pregnant, please do not go to this exhibit. I'm warning you, some things are graphic and you do not want to be in a situation where you just spend money on seeing something that you probably can't handle. So if you're sensitive, do not go. If you have friends that are sensitive, do not take them. Don't use this as a prank because this is serious stuff. This is not like, oh, just random cases. No, there are really graphic, and I'm not just talking about graphic scenes. They're graphic descriptions of things that have happened to these people, and you need to just understand that not everyone can handle this type of experience, okay? So I'm gonna leave it at that. Peace out. Take care. See you guys in part 2. And let me know in the comments, do you guys want me to go back to doing true crime? Because I used to do it, but I don't want to do like weekly things. That's too much. I feel like you need a break between for true crime. But let me know. Peace out. Take care. Bye.